Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down the characters Dwight and Laura from The Walking Dead Season 8, along with predicting what might unfold between their characters during the second half of All Out War. With that being said, major warning of spoilers for everything in the show up to the most recent episode, the mid-season finale for Season 8, and let's jump right into this. So, for those of you unaware, Savior Laura is Dwight's friend from the Sanctuary, who is also the one who showed Eugene around. She's been shown here and there in Season 7 and 8, but she actually became even more important after episode 808 due to realizing that Dwight is in fact the Rat. So first off, Dwight purposely sabotaged their attack on the Sanctuary by only bringing vehicles and not trucks, causing Daryl to escape with a few other main characters. Laura acts worried, stating that they should have brought the trucks, but Dwight just seems to brush it off, sabotaging their defense as he knew damn well it wouldn't be enough to hold. And as if that wasn't enough, Dwight also purposely led his men into Daryl's ambush, even though Laura yelled at him to stop the car. Once Dwight drives right up to the ambush, he gets out and actually mows down a bunch of his men, and then Laura pops out from behind a corner and holds Dwight at gunpoint, demanding him to tell them to stop firing. He tells them that it doesn't work like that, but Laura actually takes an opportunity to run away and she escapes. This part doesn't really make much sense. I'd love an answer if you have one, but Daryl's group just stops shooting at them, giving Laura a chance to run away. I assume that Daryl's group maybe just quit firing due to no one firing back anymore, since Laura and Dwight were the only ones left alive, but why didn't they start firing again when they saw a random savior running away? They didn't know who Savior Laura was, she was just a random savior to them, so they probably should have shot her if this was realistic and they saw her running away, but I digress. So Dwight pleads with Tara and Daryl by stating all the things he's done to help them, along with saying that he can't go back due to Laura realizing that he was the Rat. Since Laura got away, it's implied that she will go back to Negan and tell him that Dwight is the Rat, so Dwight ends up going back with Daryl's group to the Alexandrian sewers to conclude episode 808. So at first, this was pretty huge because in the comics, Dwight was never outed as being the Rat. Negan trusted Dwight up until the moment that Negan lost the war, so if Negan finds out that Dwight is the Rat only halfway through the war on the TV show, that's a pretty big change to the overall dynamic of All Out War. But then after watching the 30-second promo trailer for episode 809, I became incredibly confused as we actually see Dwight back at the Sanctuary with Negan. Now for those of you who have read the comics, this appears to be when Negan announces his idea to coat all the Savior weapons with zombie guts. I want to create a full video just about that topic as it does play a pretty important role during the second half of the season, but my point here is that Negan is giving his speech in front of some saviors and then the camera cuts to Dwight pushing through the crowd. Now this could possibly be a flashback to when the saviors originally broke out of the Sanctuary, which we haven't seen yet, but I kinda doubt that. Just as a side note, we never saw the saviors break out of the Sanctuary, we just saw them arrive at Alexandria, so I feel like in episode 809 we may see a flashback of them breaking out of the Sanctuary along with them attacking the snipers, maybe Morgan escaping, but I don't think that this scene of Negan talking about coating the weapons with savior guts is going to be during that whole flashback thing I just talked about, because if Negan had the idea to put walker guts on their weapons back then, he would have used this idea while invading Alexandria in episode 808, but instead he just called Scorched Earth and blew up the place with grenade launchers. So with that all being said, this scene of Negan with Dwight pushing through the crowd seems like it happens after the saviors get back home from attacking Alexandria, possibly preparing for another potential battle since they never found all the Alexandrians, which were actually hiding just in the sewers below. So, if Dwight is back at the Sanctuary in Season 8B and not in trouble, did Savior Laura not rat him out? What is the deal? How is this possible? Well, considering Laura was Dwight's friend, I could see her possibly keeping Dwight's secret, maybe going so far as to wanting to join Rick's side as well. Now, in the same promo trailer for episode 809, we can see multiple clips of characters running through the woods, but why? We see Rick, Daryl, Sadiq, Rosita, and Tara, but what are they doing? They seem to be searching for something or hunting for something, possibly in a rush. The leading theory here is that they're actually looking for Savior Laura, but I don't understand how or why this could sync up. Laura got away the night Alexandria was attacked, and instead of going after her, they just took Dwight back to the sewers to hide. The clips of them running around the forest appears to be during the daytime, so even if they went out looking for her the next day, Laura should have had enough of a head start that she should have ended up back at the sanctuary before they could do anything about it. So let's put these clips of the characters in the forest just aside for now and focus on Laura herself. Savior Laura is a character from the comics, and she actually becomes fairly important in the New Beginning as she sticks around as Dwight's friend and potential love interest as they continue to live at the sanctuary after Negan is taken out of power. She was only first introduced after All Out War, but it was implied that she was a savior that always lived there. It seems like they introduced her quite early in the show, but they've done that a lot recently with characters like Sadiq and the entire Oceanside community, just to name a few examples. But considering Laura is actually a character in the comics during A New Beginning to complement Dwight's character, I feel like they're gonna have her TV show counterpart eventually lead up to the same story arc as well. So let's say that she gets back to the sanctuary in episode 809, but she actually decides to keep her mouth shut for now. I'm not sure how, but one way or another, Dwight could possibly end up discussing things with her. I'm not sure if he'd just return to the sanctuary considering that he still thinks that she's gonna rat her out, but I would love to see Laura and Dwight talk this out, resulting in Laura joining his side. Now if they do intend on building Laura and Dwight to eventually fight on the same side, a solid start would be to have Laura actually not rat out Dwight. If they end up having a conversation between each other in Season 8B of the show, I could see Laura being pissed off about Dwight not telling him, but if he offers to let her in on it, she may just let things go and make up with him. What if Laura somehow tries to contact Rick's group or Dwight? Maybe she could leave a chess piece that Dwight made from his room and put a little note on it, similar to what Dwight did to Daryl in the Season 7 finale, in order to tell Daryl that he was unaware of the junkyard people double-crossing Rick. Laura could either leave a note where Dwight led them to the ambush, or somewhere else that Dwight and Laura would know about, causing Dwight to find it and realize that Laura is trying to contact him. And if Laura does try contacting him, this could cause them to ambush her in the woods, maybe leading to some sort of chase scene. That being said, even if they did end up somehow hunting down Laura in the forest, or anywhere for that matter, they could potentially corner her, cause her to surrender, and she could plead her case to them the same that she would have to Dwight anyways, leading her to become part of Rick's rebellion as well. With Laura alongside Dwight, it would explain why he was never ratted out, also explaining how he could possibly walk around freely at the sanctuary during Season 8B. Now once again, I'll be creating a follow-up video to this one fully explaining Negan's plan to cover weapons with walker guts, along with some pretty important death predictions, so be sure to look out for that in the near future. Anyways, what do you guys think about Savior Laura? Do you think that she'll rat out Dwight, or is there a chance for her to work things out with our group somehow? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, along with any other theories or predictions you may have. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, or even subscribe for more Walking Dead Season 8 content in the near future. If you'd like to take that extra step in helping support my videos, consider checking out my Patreon where there's a bunch of different rewards involving the channel, such as a chance to directly influence the videos being produced. It isn't necessary by any means, but it could really help in the long run. And as always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.